where we get it wrong. Taking an active part in the leadership and in the determination of the future of one's country is not getting involved in government stuff. In any case, government is we the people. Uganda is predominantly a young population. We have over 80% under the age of 35. So we have over 35 million Ugandans who are younger than me. And we are working towards the future. It is only important that we take part in the decisions that we make, because we are the ones that are going to leave those decisions. So getting involved is everybody's responsibility. As an artist, or as a businessman, or as a farmer, or as a carpenter, we are equally bound to the decisions that are being made for us. So it is important that we don't shy away from how our country is run. And yes, you're right, we always get intimidated, because for a long time, leadership and decision making has been cordoned off by certain people, and making us, especially the young people, shy away from that, believing that it's for certain people, which is false. So coming in to take an active part in the leadership of my country was not for my interest, but I had been talking about it for a long time, advocating for young people to get involved. But there came a time when I did not just want to talk about it. I wanted to act about it. It was time for explaining was over, and it was time to demonstrate. Yes, as an artist, I'm equally vulnerable to bad governance. If we don't get involved in fixing our country, we are all vulnerable to it. Probably if we as a whole had gotten involved much earlier and decided that we need, for example, a good healthcare system. I'll give you an example. Moses Radio got an accident in Entebbe. I would love to call it an accident out of respect. That happened in Entebbe, but there was no medical facility that would attend to him. And even when he was rushed to Zambia, you know, there was no intensive care service to take care of him. And indeed, when he was referred to a private clinic, not to a national referral hospital.
Which is sad,
you cannot keep away from such decisions, because they are going to find you wherever you are, artist, farmer, trader, or politician, as you want to call it.
And I understand that, and I understand the take you're referring to, and I understand that decision that you took on, because your heart is very patriotic towards your people and your country. But is there a time where Babi Ajanagamba, like, you know what, I love that you're taking on this you know, to help your people. Naye abana bange mbagala nange, but Patheno Jota, like, has there ever been a time where she sat you down and said, I don't think we can do this? You know, I don't think I want to put my children in this path. I don't think I want to, because there's a majority of people who don't like you, and then there's a majority of people who like you. So has she ever sat you down and put you in a situation from a mother's perspective? You know?
I thank God that I'm married to a very strong woman. Yes, she gets scared many times. I get scared too. I must tell you, it is scary, you know, but it is even more scary to live in a country where you don't know where you're going.
I know.
I'll be honest with you. I went to Parliament not expecting to change things immediately. But because I know that that is the constitutional platform to air our views and take a leap towards what we want to get to. I went to Parliament because, one, I wanted to inspire other people to know that it's actually possible.
Very nice.
And I believe many other people are inspired, especially young people, to take the same route. And secondly, I knew that there are many straight-thinking Ugandans in the Parliament. We have very many good members of Parliament. I wanted to join them and maybe bring in a new feel of confidence, you know, to empower each other from within.
Do you see other, let me call them, independent candidates joining your cause? Like, do you have, you know, people joining you ever since you joined the
sure, and I'm not looking at it.
We can do this.
Yes, I'm not looking at this as just as an independent, because I don't want to isolate the FDCs, I don't want to isolate the DP, and indeed I do not want to isolate the NRM. We are all Ugandans, and we are tied in a single garment of destiny. We all know what we want for our country. All I wanted is to inspire soberness in the Parliament. And maybe one day we will all come together on a single table, no matter what political affiliation, and make a decision for our country, a rightful decision.
And I think that's awesome.
There's something very important we forgot to ask right from the start. Yeah. We see you here. We are surprised that you're here. Tell us briefly about, we've heard about the course you're pursuing at Harvard University. Tell us about
I think everyone is curious about that. Because to be honest, we watched the Diaspora TV and Voila asked you some powerful questions. And everyone, I think, is thinking like that. Hey, who's backing him? Everyone is asking themselves.
Tell us about it and how it's going to impact, you know, how it's going to help you in your political journey.
Because we were curious about that.
It was such an honor to be accepted in the world's top leadership school, the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. Yes, and the course is called Leadership for 21st Century. Because we are looking for knowledge, and we are looking at these developed countries. They developed because they had leaders that had the necessary knowledge and necessary skills to propel them to where they want to be. So it was important for me to seek that knowledge. And when I was accepted into Harvard University, I went and did that course. I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad that I'll be taking that knowledge home to share it with other people, especially the ghetto youth, to break it down for them in a language that they understand, and then try to apply that knowledge and those skills back home. And maybe we can change our country.
I hope so. I hope we can have something changing, because I think you remind us of what a politician should have been from the beginning. Because right now, I think that's what they should have been. Because we grew up in school knowing about, you know, people would say, what do you want to be when you want to grow up? And they were doctor, they were this and this and this, and people wanted, maybe someone said a member of parliament at some point, but as time went on, people stopped respecting that position. People stopped wanting to be in that position. You know, if your daughter or son comes back and says, I want to be in parliament, you know. But now I think you're reminding us, you're reminding the youth, you're reminding everybody that this is a position I want to, you know, aspire to, because there's always someone fighting, and we really, really recommend you for that. It's good to see when you see someone, I think, bring back hope. And I think you're bringing back hope to that country. Do you ever get worried that this is going to be like because I worry, I think everyone is worrying so much that, you know, the regime that's on right now, the Museveni regime, that people who have been making treadway and headway in politics, and people who have been making noise, that, you know how you've been impacting Uganda a lot. Do you ever worry that something negative is going to come out of that? Maybe the way, let me give you an example, like JF Kennedy. You know, he was such a great president. He was making such good headway in America, and then someone assassinated him. And then there is all these big players in the political scene in America were always assassinated. Do you worry that you might be seen in that light, and that might end up being in your future somewhere if you're taking on this path? Do you ever worry about that?
I'll let you know, Alex, that in a Uganda where we're living, the fear of death is not anywhere on my agenda. You understand? My aspirations are bigger than my tiny life. Yeah, we are almost 40 million Ugandans.
It's a big number.
And if we fear to do what is right because we are fearing the repercussion, then that's a very, very big weakness. You know. Yes, there's a fear, because every time when there's so much corruption and you're talking about stopping corruption, you're actually taking some bread out of somebody's mouth. But there comes a time when we have to step on the fear. You understand? Nelson Mandela told you one time that bravery is not the absence of fear, but it's the ability to step on that fear, to overcome that fear. Yes, we always fear for our lives. But like I told you, people die anyway.
Every day,
Our brother Radio did not have to criticize bad governance to die. AK-47 did not have to criticize bad governance to die. And indeed, all the people that die senseless deaths. So I am not looking at that. In any case, what I'm saying is what even our government needs. I'm not abusing anybody. I'm not abusing our president. I'm only telling him that it is right to lead people nicely so that he will, in a right way. And if I don't do that, somebody else will do it.
We'll stand in
so
your
what
shoes.
is the purpose of living long and then waking up 60 years old
And nothing has changed.
and nothing has changed? And then my children and grandchildren are
going to
asking
be
me,
done.
what did you do when you could change that?
That's powerful. That's powerful right there. That's first got me for a second that I'm still thinking about it in my mind. I'm so content. I'm like, Jesus, that was good. So church knows that what you're going to take.
You have so many people who believe in you.
Yeah.
So many people that believe in you. Does that put you under any kind of pressure? Actually, there are two groups: the people who believe in you and the people who are watching and waiting for you to fail. So
Actually,
does that put you under any kind of pressure?
Yeah. I don't want people to believe in me. I want them to believe in themselves.
Well,
Because it's not about me.
but the thing with people, the thing with humans, they always want someone to aspire. Yes, they have to see, you have to see someone to aspire you to be someone, you know? You have to have someone you follow, someone you represent, someone who inspires you to be better or to reach for further things. So whether you want it or not, you have ended up having that mantle of someone they respect, someone they want to. So at the end of the day, there's no use of saying, I don't want them to love me. But you have turned
it
into...
feels so good.
Maybe once upon a time.
You didn't want to, but now...
Themselves and wanted someone to, to take on their beliefs and make them into
manifest,
turn them into something bigger, and they just couldn't find that person.
Certainly,
and right now here you are.
You see, it is beautiful to be loved. It feels so good to get somewhere and people show you that yes, they believe in what you say. But what I'm trying to say is that we must not zero that down to me. Let us look at what I represent, and indeed that is what you might be representing yourself, only that you don't know. I'm not looking at making people believe in my ability to change things. I'm looking at making them believe in their ability to do that. I want to inspire as many Bobiwine'S out there as possible. That's the only way we can add up the dots and make the change. Otherwise, I'm only a human being.
Yeah.
You understand? If I don't inspire other people to stick to what is right, I have weaknesses as me. I'm not righteous. Yeah, but I just want us to have something that we hold on to as a people, and most importantly, as a generation. If we have that, then we would get there. Sometime I might not be there. I might be in jail or in the grave. But if we have something that we believe in as a people, then it can't be stopped. You'll stop one and another will move on. You'll stop another, and that's the only way we can guarantee getting to where we want to get. I want us to recognize what we need, and most importantly, recognize our ability to contribute to it. I want everybody to know that they can do something wherever they are. I have some Islamic friends, and they taught me something. The Quran says, if there's anything that you don't want, do something about it. And if you cannot do something about it, at least talk about it. So if there's something wrong that you notice, which I believe, by acting about it, you're making a difference. And if you can't act, at least you can talk about it. We are living in a generation where we have social media, And we talk about it. We are living in a generation where we can advocate for things, advocate for it, and most importantly, vote about it.